I'm scared. I'm scared someone's going to walk through my door right now and bludgeon me to death.
And killing a 2-year-old randomly, that just doesn't make
crazy.
sense.
Maybe they're just crazy.
They're crazy.
People.
They're crazy German homeless people, mate.
Yeah.
He noticed that there was a set of footprints in the snow leading up to his property. However, he noticed that there were no footprints leading away from the property.
Peckish for Answers. Mysteries and conspiracies.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Peckish for Answers. It's me, Oscar, and then Nick and Rhys. Say hi.
Hey guys.
Hello.
I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
I've been looking forward to this like all week.
So have I. And I've spent a lot of time researching, and there is a lot of information, so I might have missed some things out, but it's still extremely interesting. So, so this one is probably quite creepy. Ralph, I know you get pretty creeped out, and this one,
Ralph's going to have nightmares
I'm
tonight.
so nervous. Yeah.
This one is especially kind of creepy.
The problem is, like with the last one, I was scared for like 3 days after it, and it wasn't even.
I don't know. Like when I heard that one for the first time, I wasn't scared. It was just interesting. I don't know how you were scared.
How are you scared?
It's not even like there's no scary details.
There's no scary details. It's just like they got to a mountain and then they die. Like you're nowhere near a mountain.
It's like you're scared of just hearing about people dying. I don't know.
I was just scared about things that are unexplained.
Yeah, but they're never going to happen to you.
All right. Well, anyway. Oh, and also, because I realised this in the last episode, I call you Rolf quite a lot, Nick, which might be quite confusing for people, but it's his surname. So if I ever say Rolf or if he says Rolf, it's Nick.
I will never.
There's some people in the audience just like, right.
I think in the last episode I called you Rolf like every single time because I do. So.
I think I'm pretty sure I've been calling Rolf since episode 1 because I don't really.
You have.
Hopefully people have worked it out. I mean, there's only 3 of us, so they're pretty stupid if they haven't.
Yeah.
Well, that's our audience to talk about.
Well, who cares? Right. So, should we crack on?
Let's go on.
Mystery.
Let's go on.
All right. So, I'll start off with the sort of background. So, the year is 1922, and we're in a small town in
The Roaring 20s.
The what? The Roaring 20s?
Yeah, they were.
Were they roaring?
Yeah, the 20s. They were all like they're going off, mate. Like parties, they were
drugs.
All right.
Drugs. They loved it.
All right. Well, it's the Roaring 20s then. In a small town called Kaifeck in Bavaria, Germany. So we're in Deutsche.
Deutschland.
I like Deutsche.
This.
I like their words as well. So in the town, there's a farm which is called Hinterkaifeck. And basically, Hinter in German means behind. So Hinterkaifeck is like behind Kaifeck. It's probably just where the farm was located, like on the outskirts of Kaifeck. So the farm is called Hinterkaifeck. And there's a family that live on the farm. So I'll give a bit of context on the family. So there is Andreas Gruber, who is 63 years old. And then there's his wife, which I believe her name is pronounced like Tutzilia, but it's spelled Cazilia, and it's got an umlaut on the A. I'm just going to call her Kutzilia because it's a lot easier. Okay.
Wow.
If you were reading this like episode, Rhys, you would have I don't know. You'd be spitting all over your computer, yeah. But it's Kutzilia. So Kutzilia is 72. That's Andreas's wife. So they're the sort of old couple. And then there's their daughter, who is Victoria or Victoria. It's a V, but I believe in German it's W. It's pronounced W with a V, but I'm just going to call her Victoria. She is widowed. So she had a husband who was called Carl, but he was killed during the First World War. He was called up for the war, First World War. And then Victoria has got 2 kids. So there's another Kutzilia, who's 7. So they named her after her now grandma. and then there's Joseph, who is 2 years old. So it's a sort of grandparents, and then the mother, and then the 2 kids. Right? Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. So the Grubers, as I'll refer to them, as that's their sort of family name, they were very wealthy, but they were not generally sort of liked by the townspeople. There are various sort of reasons for this, which I'll get onto a little bit more later. But one was that Andreas was not particularly friendly with the townspeople, and he was known to be quite abusive to his wife and kids. Yes, it's not the best, I suppose. Victoria was generally more liked by the townspeople, as she tended to spend a bit more time in the town, and she was also a good singer in the church choir that she attended regularly. So yes, that's the initial background on the people. So have you guys got the gist of what's going on? It's a farmhouse with a family,
crystal clear.
And okay, all right. So the sort of layout of the property can come in handy to know. So I have done a little sort of diagram, but I've realized that my camera's backwards, so that also I'll point it out, but I'll also describe it for the audio listeners. But basically it's an L shape. So the house is in one quarter, which is this here, which is basically the end of the long bit of the L, and then the barn takes up the sort of rest of the L. So it's basically,
the house connected to the barn.
Yeah, so the house is connected to the barn. The barn has multiple sort of entrance points, and the house has a main front door, and then sort of doors into the barn. And then there's also this engine room, which is external to the house. You can't get to it from the house. And that is sort of where there's like an engine. I think back in the olden days or whatever, there's like an engine to power a lot of the things in the house. So that's sort of the basic layout.
Was the barn? Can I ask a question? Was the barn? Was it like a working barn? Did it have animals in it and stuff?
Yes. So there are animals.
Okay.
Yeah, had livestock. So yeah, it's that sort of setup. So in the month of March, a few strange occurrences started happening on the property. One of these things was that Andreas, so the older bloke, the sort of the big dog of the house, he found a newspaper from Munich on his property. He found this a bit suspicious because he didn't buy this newspaper. And so he checked with the postman, and the postman revealed that nobody in the area subscribed to that newspaper. So it was a bit of a mystery as to where that had come from. But I mean, it's not that big of a deal. And around the same time, there'd been a snowstorm in the area, and Andreas was out sort of looking at his property to see if there was any signs of damage, because it'd just been a snowstorm. And he noticed that there was a set of footprints in the snow leading up to his property, and specifically the engine room. However, he noticed that there were no footprints leading away from the property.
Man.
So when he looked at the engine room door, he noticed that the lock had been broken. So, he's like, well, what the hell? There's footprints leading up to the engine room. The lock is broken. There's no footprints leading away from the engine room. So he searched around the property, but he could not find anyone. The family had also made comments to the townspeople in recent weeks to say that they heard strange noises coming from the attic. Now, Andreas, who sort of, he thought he was a pretty bold bloke, he said he wasn't afraid, and that he had his rifle ready to use if he needed to use it. And one final piece of information is that Andreas also reported that he had a set of keys missing at the time. And basically a lot of strange things just started to ramp up at the end of March.
Can I clarify?
Yes, you may interject.
Yeah. So he saw that there's footsteps up to this engine room and the lock was broken and he didn't even go inside.
Yeah, he did. He looked around. He went inside, looked around. He went inside his property. He couldn't find anyone.
Can you get from the engine room into the barn and the house? Or do you have to leave? Is the engine room's own? Is it like a shed or is it like connected to the property?
So not directly, but I believe that the house basically had an attic and the attic sort of connected all areas.
So you could get into the engine room up into the attic then?
I believe that's sort of what the theory is, that someone could do that, because the attic was just sort of the roof build up, so it would just be all open, if you know what I mean, and maybe some ventilation.
So so snowstorm, sees footsteps, lock's broken, goes in, no one's in there.
Yeah.
Then after that, people in the family start reporting that they are hearing things in the attic. Not people. You say people in the family are, or people outside are?
No, people in the family. So
people in the family are like, I'm hearing things in the attic.
Yeah. So like Victoria, for example, when she goes to town. I mean, I don't know exactly who. It's just that on all the reports, it says that the townspeople were told that there was some strange, like they were hearing strange noises and footsteps or whatever from the attic at that time as well.
Right. So Veronica was going into town and being like,
Veronica?
Oh,
Victoria.
Victoria. So Victoria was going into this town.
And Andreas, yeah.
Yeah, and they were like, oh yeah, we just keep hearing footsteps in the attic. It's really weird.
Well, yeah. But I mean, they kept hearing noises that I assume they thought could have been like footsteps, but
they searched freaking out. Like, did they not go and check the attic?
Yeah. Andreas checked around all the property. He went into the attic. He couldn't see anything. So that's why, I mean, what can you really do? You could call the police and say,
So I guess they didn't see anything. Maybe they thought it was rats running around in the attic.
Yeah.
Maybe,
I think people.
That's what I was
that it was haunted as well.
I mean,
some people sort of said that.
It's probably going to be rats.
And
stuff around.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard strange noises like in my house before, and I'm like, well,
Oh, don't get me thinking.
Okay, so on Friday, the 31st of March, the family had just employed a new live-in maid called Maria Baumgartner. A great name that is. So she's like a maid who, I don't know, does housework, and she lives in the house. But yeah, her first day was Friday the 31st of March. So her sister had escorted her there, and then she said goodbyes like a short while later and left Maria to, start working. Now, a few days go by from March the 31st, and the townspeople start noticing that the young Katzelia is not in school. And they also noticed that Victoria had not attended the church service or sang in the choir, which she very rarely did not attend. So this all sort of started sort of whipping up a bit of suspicion as to where they were. It was also noted that the mail had been building up for the household. So eventually some neighbours decide to go and check on the family. So they get to the farm and they notice all pretty quiet, all apart from their dog. So the Grubers had a dog. It was a Pomeranian, and it was barking furiously at the men.
But the men that were coming to check on the house?
Yeah, so there was a few neighbours there. I think it was 3 men to go and check on the house. So they looked around the barn. It appeared all sort of normal. The animals and livestock were well. And then they looked a bit deeper. And in the barn, one of the men noticed a foot sticking out from the hay. They inspected a little bit closer and they discovered the bodies of Andreas, Katzelia, the old Katzelia, so Andreas' wife, Victoria, and the young Cecilia, all stacked on top of each other, concealed by hay. So they were all piled on top of each other, and they had hay sort of covering their bodies. They all had severe head wounds, and it appeared that they were beaten to death. There were also actual pictures online of the crime scene if you want to look at them. And then they make their way inside the house. So that was inside the barn. They make their way inside the house, and they find the bodies of Joseph in his mum's room, in his cot, also dead from the same injuries. And finally, they found Maria, the maid, dead in the maid's room, again from the same injuries. And both of these bodies were covered by sheets and sort of clothing. So yeah, I've put in a little pause here for just general discussion.
Yeah, that's. I'm scared. I'm scared someone's going to walk through my door right now and bludgeon me to death.
See, I had a theory in my mind, and it's already gone out the window. Oh. So my initial theory was...
You thought it was the maid?
Yeah, I thought it was the maid. I thought the maid was getting up to some tricky business or something. But apparently not, she's dead.
Yeah, she's murked.
So I don't know. The only thing I can think of is that someone obviously must have gone into the attic through the shed bit area, and like, you know, it's an attic, it's really old, it's probably really dark in there. They probably, you know, I don't know, they might not have had the best lighting. I don't know how thoroughly he checked. Like, maybe there was loads of like just rubbish and up there.
Yeah,
maybe he was in a sack of hay.
Yeah, maybe in a sack of hay or something like that. You know, this guy or woman, you know, this person is hidden, who's, I reckon, has a grudge against his family for some reason, and hid up there and was making weird noises, and they were like, oh, what's going on? What's going on with Chet? Oh no. And then they kind of just thought, oh, it's just rats. And then one night, boom, just kills them.
Boom.
It just goes away.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I think similar. I think very similar. But it's pretty hard to kill 6 people. I mean, the 2-year-old doesn't really count.
It's a lot of people, yeah.
It's quite difficult to bludgeon them to death. Like, you know, what they're going to be screaming when they're getting bludgeoned to death. So
maybe it was 2 people. Maybe it was 2 people.
Oh yeah, it could be.
Like, maybe it's one person who creeps up in there, in the attic, hides for a bit, and they've like planned it, saying like before they went up to the attic, like, right, on this day, you're gonna come to the barn. I'm gonna let you in, and we're gonna kill these guys. Boom, boom, boom. I'll take 2. You take 2. You know.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually a pretty good idea. Yeah.
That's actually not a bad idea. Yeah.
Little double job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
that's my main theory.
Yeah. That kind of makes sense.
Or
like what? Yeah.
Or it's aliens.
No, not in 1922. They weren't invented yet.
They weren't actually. Yeah, that's true. They weren't invented in the 60s.
No.
I mean, as well, another thing I was thinking is, you know, maybe, I mean, I think this is unlikely, but maybe, you know, he could have walked up to the shed, broken the lock, and then, like, walked back in his own footsteps to make it look like he didn't come there. And maybe he wasn't, maybe there just were rats in the attic. And then, like, that whole thing isn't the thing. Like, they just, 1 or 2 people just came, broke it. But,
could be.
But I mean, I'm assuming they would have fixed the lock on the shed, on the engine.
Well, I think it was only a few days after they got murked. So
okay, well, yeah, fair.
Yeah.
So maybe they didn't fix the lock. I don't know.
Yeah. But a note that I've seen on a few things is that, because this is really well known in Germany, it's like like everyone knows it apparently. But also because it was about 100 years ago. some people say that because it gets passed around so much that some things can be exaggerated or lost. So, but regardless, it still makes for an interesting
It
story.
just seems insane. I mean, if this person is like trying to kill these people, why the hell? Like, he's going to walk in the snow where his footsteps are shown. He's then going to break this lock and hide in the attic. Like, they know he's in the house, basically, because they don't even see footsteps out. At least if he did it when it wasn't in the snow, they could see the broken lock and assume he went in there and left. Whereas if you see footsteps leading up to it, a broken lock, and no footsteps leading away, your thought is, this man is in my house. Yeah. And you're going to search really intently for him. So that's really stupid from him to do that. Why would you not wait for a day when there isn't a snowstorm, where your footsteps aren't going to, unless he's just a really stupid person? Because he's basically saying, I'm in your house. If that is his plan.
Yeah. Or unless there's like, for some reason he wanted to do it on a specific day. And then, but then, I don't know.
I mean, the thing is as well, you said there's a snowstorm. Was this maybe like a homeless person who got lost out in the woods and he like needed to find a place to stay? So he just broke into there and snuck into the attic, and then maybe he's crazy and he just decided to kill them all? Or did they maybe one of them found him and they freaked out and then he killed that one, and then like the other ones came and he killed them, and like, because he was like freaking out, and then he left? Maybe. There's a few theories on the table here.
Yeah. So interesting. But I'll give some more information. So, upon investigation, it was found that the likely murder weapon was something called a mattock, which is it's basically a pickaxe with one end that's sort of like blunt and flatter. So, so that was the sort of suspected murder weapon. It was also found that the bodies didn't show any signs of injuries related to struggling, apart from Victoria, who had some bruising which indicated strangling, but they determined that she didn't die from that. So there was very little or no signs of struggling.
Sorry, but the bruising. We did, in the context, we learned about I think the father or something. He wasn't he abusive?
He was. He was abusive.
That could be from him.
Not even the do you know what? It could have been. That is like a true say.
Maybe in a little arsehole.
Yeah. She's not made him a nice sandwich or something.
Yeah.
So, it was a bit strange, especially for a murder of this scale, that there were no signs of struggling, because it's sort of like a 5-on-1. So the investigators determined that the killer must have somehow lured the family into the barn one by one to then kill them, because otherwise they should have basically been able to overpower just one person, or there would at least be signs that of struggle, like other injuries. So everyone is thought to have died almost instantly from their injuries, apart from one. So young Catzelia was found with clumps of her own hair in her hands, meaning that she likely was alive for hours, and the extreme sort of pain and trauma that she had to the head drove her to basically pull out her own hair.
That's giving me chills.
That is horrible.
That is pretty crazy.
Why did you have to tell us that?
Because it makes it more. I think it makes it more creepy. I don't know. It just it makes me feel all weird. Like, imagine being in that much sort of pain that you pull out your own hair.
Can we go off that? I don't like that.
I think we should linger on it. I'll let you guys think about it.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it's pretty grim.
I'm not a big fan of this police report though from this guy. I don't really understand the fact that, all right, this person has one by one got them to the barn, and then killed them.
But
and then just goes, right, oh, come on in. But then, like, surely the next person would see the dead body, or like would see, I don't know, the bloody hammer, and just be like, ah, and scream, and then they would hear it, and like, or the first person even getting killed would probably scream because there's a bloody hammer in there.
No, but it could just be one bang, knockout, gone.
Well, he like turns around, just bangs them in the
For
head.
example, like
maybe,
they said,
but like,
they
surely
said
you'd see the body. I
well,
don't
like,
know. Also, it's like, right, why they not coming back? What's going on? Why
well, that's the thing.
The barn one by one? Like, that's
so well, they said, like, for example, maybe Andreas went in, bang, like the guys around the corner in the barn, bang, and then Katzelia, the older Katzelia, his wife's like, oh, where's Andreas? He's been a while. It comes in, bang, and then so on for the other two.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that could be. Yeah,
I think you know, it could just be. I mean, because as well with that, like, if that was pre-planned, that's a pretty fucking risky plan, because like you're assuming one person's going to come in at a time, basically.
Yeah, what if yeah, two people went, right, should we go look for them? Yeah, let's go look for them. But bang, oh no, then you're screwed.
But maybe it was more like I said before, maybe it was more of like a in the moment thing. So like, you know, Andreas comes in, he's in there, he's like, fuck.
Yeah.
I've been caught. Kills him. And he's like, shit, what the hell do I do now? Oh my God. And then, you know, if you imagine they're in the kitchen, like, oh, where's Andreas? Oh, I'll just go check on him. Then she goes, and then it's like, shit, she hasn't been back in a while. Fuck. Okay, let me just go quickly check.
Yeah.
So then those three, and now he's killed those three. Now he's like, oh, well, I mean, I have to go and kill the rest of them now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the maid, because the maid was in her room, so she wasn't in the barn. But yeah, they also said that because all the family were in sort of their night gear, so sort of they were just ready to go to bed, and then that's when they got killed. So just if that adds anything, that's just a piece of information. So the bodies were found on April the 4th, but from the evidence they could determine that they were killed on March the 31st. So basically they weren't found for 5 days. Okay. Now this was a little bit strange because multiple people had cited signs of life at the farm between these two dates. So firstly, when they found the bodies, the animals had been tended to, so they were well fed, including the dog, and they would have shown signs of sort of neglect after this amount of time. Mm-hmm. People had also noted that there was smoke coming from the chimney, but there was a foul smell coming from it. Further evidence of that is that on the morning of April the 4th, before the bodies were found, a mechanic had an appointment to repair the engine. He didn't notice anybody on the property. No one answered the door. So he decided to just sort of begin working on the engine. After working for a short while, he went back around to the entrance and he noticed that one of the gates was now open and that the dog had been tied up, both of which were different from when he arrived. He carried on working and sort of whistled loudly to sort of get someone's attention if someone was there, but no one ever came to him. He finished his work and then he eventually just left. And the investigators also found evidence that the family's bread supplies had all been consumed and that there was a piece of meat that had recently been cut in the kitchen. So all signs basically point to that someone was living in the house for the days after the murders. And that's
God, that mechanic. He must have got chills when he found out. Eh?
Yeah.
Just clarification: the bodies got found on when? April the 4th.
They were murdered on the 31st.
So they got found on April the 4th in like the evening, and the mechanic was there the morning. Okay, so I reckon, obviously it must have been the murderer or murderers. I still think there might be two. There might be two. Obviously they think, right, well, I'm just going to live here for a few days because they're a bit weird. I don't know. they then got, because no one really came, and then the mechanic came. They got spooked by that, so they were like, "We need to get out now. Like, we need to go because he's probably going to tell, old Jim down in the pub. Well, I don't know." So, so they're getting out of there. So I do quite like the Rolf's homeless thing, because that would make sense for why they would stay there. Because if they're just murdering them, like, why would you stay at their place? You'd probably want to get out of there straight away.
Why would you murder them if you're homeless? Just because they scared you?
But no. Let's say, like Rolf said, the homeless guy was just a bit crazy. Like, he had mental health problems or something.
Got spooked.
He got spooked or something. Oh yeah, he got spooked, and he was like, oof. Then, you're homeless. You're going to take the opportunity to live in a nice house with lots of food, and you're probably going to take care of the dog and take care of the animals, because why not? Like, it's something to do, isn't it?
Like, maybe like maybe he never wants to kill them. Maybe the guy came in, the Andres guy came in, and like, had got like a weapon and was like, "Get out my fucking, like, what are you doing? Get out my house!" And they freaked out. I was like, "Oh!" And just killed him. And then, like, and then he was like, "Oh, what have I done? Oh, I've killed everyone." But he's like still like kind of like, he's just mentally
But why
disabled.
is he killing the baby though?
Yeah, killing the 2-year-old as well.
That's pretty messed up.
Because if you're
messed up,
if you're like,
true, that is.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just a mistake. If it's just a mistake, he doesn't need to go and like kill the 2-year-old, does he?
Yeah. And if he's got a bit of a heart to the fact where he's looking after the animals, then surely you
put the dog out and stuff like that. And
surely
why would you kill a 2-year-old?
Yeah, that's true.
And a maid who it's her first day at work.
Yeah.
Like, has she done anything wrong? Like, and she was in her room, so yeah.
Yeah, you kind of think like after he's killed those 3, you just like run away.
Mm-hmm. I reckon it was like 2 people. Like, my original theory, I reckon it was 2 people. So one creeped up into the attic, hid there, didn't get found. And then said to the other person, whoever it was, that we're gonna murder these people on this date. They did that, and they were just they were just psychopaths, sociopaths, and they decided, we're just gonna stay here because they were very rich. Maybe these people were poor. They didn't want to go back to their dingy little house. They were like, well, I've got this nice big house, all this food. I'm constantly starving. I don't have all this bread that they have and stuff. And then and then they got spooked by the engineer, the mechanic, and they're like, well, we got to leave now. I think there's just 2 really individuals that had a massive grudge against this rich
Family.
They
did. Like you said, Andres wasn't particularly well liked.
He wasn't well liked, and I think, and they were wealthy, so people usually will get quite jealous of people like that, and especially those times, 1920s. It's not, people didn't have the food security that we have these days. Like, they probably wouldn't be as well off.
Could also be World War One veteran, shell shocked, bit crazy.
Yeah. Didn't maybe who was in the war? One of the family, wasn't it?
It was Victoria's original husband who died in World War One.
He died. Okay.
Maybe he never died.
Oh.
He came back
and came back and killed his wife.
Yeah. Maybe he found out his wife was like shagging some other guy, and he's like,
maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, we'll go on a little break there. See everyone after the break. All right, welcome back, everyone.
Hi, guys.
So, just to recap on the story so far. So, there's a family in Germany on a farm. They report some strange activity, footsteps leading up to their property, and then a few days later, they're all found bludgeoned to death on their property.
Scary.
And the suspected murderer or murderers are suspected to have lived in the house for a few days afterwards. They found sort of evidence of this from there being the family supply of bread, which was consumed.
Bread. I like bread. I think that means it's time for Rhys's Food Corner. We had a little break for Rhys's Food Corner last week because I was doing it. And there was no
full.
I was full. I was really full.
There was no food in the story, so no
there's no
space
food in the story. No space for food.
Was there not?
But no, there actually wasn't. No. DB Cooper was not a very hungry guy, but I am. So we tried 2 hearty food co's. The first one we tried was the chicken curry, and that was bloody lovely. And then we tried the penne pasta cheese tomato. That was pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. This week, I did tell the boys here that I didn't have high hopes for this one. But so to this week, we have got. So I don't know if you can see that.
Is that Toad in the Hole?
It is Toad in the Hole.
I love Toad in the Hole.
Done. We have Toad in the Hole.
Oh, Toad in the Hole.
I like Toad in the Hole, but the image, I don't know. On the box, the sausages look really like those cheap sausages, which I don't know. It could. I haven't got any gravy as well.
How much was it?
This was 99p.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, this one did though. I have to say, it took 45 minutes in the oven. So it's not a microwave, Johnny.
It's time consuming.
It's time consuming. It's quite. I think I overcooked it a little bit, but I won't.
Yeah, I can hear it's a bit crunchy. Got it with any sauce or just plain?
No gravy. I forgot to get gravy.
How many sausages do you get?
1, 2, 3, 4, but they're very small. Like that is one of the sausages.
Yeah, piss take.
Tiny little sausage. But I will try it.
Yeah,
one bite. And see. It's very hot. It's just come out the oven.
Did you get like a sausage Yorkshire pudding combo just then?
Yeah.
That sounds quite crunchy.
That's making me hungry.
Yeah, it's making me hungry.
It's all right. Is
it quite bland? I can imagine it's very
bland. It definitely needs gravy. I think for this week, I'm going to put it in good soup. So tier B.
Okay.
It's decent.
But the one above it you loved. Do you know what I mean?
I did love. No, but I can see it's good. Like I could finish that quite easy and I would get it again, but I would just add gravy. Okay. It just needs.
Would gravy put it higher or not enough to put it higher?
I think gravy could put it up higher.
Yeah, I think it could. To be fair, if I just had,
but that's not part of it. If it didn't come with gravy, it's not.
Yeah,
no.
But then if I just had a sausage and a Yorkshire pudding, I would say that's not that good. But
I love Yorkshire pudding.
But you're not going to eat them just plain, are you?
Yeah, I would. I mean, I'll have it with gravy preferably, but I'll absolutely eat it plain.
The sausages. I'm just eating the sausage on its own, and it's not that bad. It's all right. It's got a bit of flavour to it.
Always eat sausages on their own.
Yeah, a sausage I would, but what I'm saying is a sausage.
And the Yorkshire pudding isn't that bad. Yorkshire pudding. It's quite fluffy still in the middle. Crispy and that, so it's decent. You get what you get. Toad in the Hole, 99p as well.
Yeah, 99p.
Yeah.
That's
good value.
Deal. So, yeah, that was a surprise for me actually. So,
okay.
Next week,
you were expecting lower, weren't you?
Yeah, I was expecting lower.
Oh, good. There you go. Redemption arc.
Yeah. Redemption arc for the Hearty Food Co from last time.
Yeah.
And thank you. That was Rhys's Food Corner. Well, bring us back to our host, Oscar Neville, talked about Germans dying in a barn.
But I've talked about that already, mate. So
next mystery.
No, there's more.
Yeah, this one's done.
So right, where were we? So I'm going to move on to bit more evidence, and then more to do with sort of the motive and suspects, sort of lead suspects. So, for a bit more evidence, what I left out previously was that there was a maid employed before Maria who had left months earlier, which was partly due to her believing that the house was haunted, as she also would often say that she heard strange noises and footsteps coming from the attic of the house. And these were months before the murder.
That's very interesting.
And that's before as well. Sorry to interrupt, but that's before they reported noises as well.
Yeah, I believe so. And it's before the footsteps were found in the snow. So originally it was thought that it was most likely a burglary, but after investigation it was found there was a lot of jewellery and valuables found remaining in the house. So they concluded that this basically couldn't have been the motive, because they would have done an extremely bad job. So I'll go on to the potential suspects and motives. So Carl Gabriel. So Carl, oh, you're right, Rhys. You had enough, or?
Just shut my door.
So Carl, who is Victoria's husband who died in the war. Now she's sort of mentioned this, Rolf. I was quite impressed.
No, he's alive, isn't he?
So Carl was called up to fight in World War One, where he died. But Carl's body was never recovered, and reports alleged that in World War II, prisoners of war were discharged by a German-speaking Soviet soldier who claimed to be the Hinterkaifeck
Russian
murderer. The theory.
Sorry, wait, what?
So in World War II, so the next war, there were prisoners of war in the Soviet Union or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were let go by a German-speaking Soviet soldier he claimed to be the Hinterkaifeck murderer. He was also called Carl Gabriel.
Well, so he defected to Russia, and then
that's
who
where
did he
he was at
tell?
the time.
He told all the prisoners of war that he was the guy.
Well, he let some people go, and he said, "I'm the Hinterkaifeck murderer." He spoke German. Look, it's just
but like obviously, like that's such a thing that they do. Like, oh, I'm the Hinterkaifeck murderer or whatever. Like he's not gonna just. Why would he just tell these random prisoners of war? Oh, by the way,
I don't know. But the theory is that Carl returned and found that his wife had a kid with another man, which I'll get onto, and then murdered in retaliation. Yeah. However, two soldiers reportedly witnessed Carl's death in the field. I think it was blown up by a mine, and they were like, "Yeah, we fucking saw it, so it's not him." So yeah, I mean, Carl Gabriel was named as like a suspect, but most likely it's just a dead person. So yeah. The next main sort of suspect is Andreas Gruber. So he's the
I was thinking this too, but the fact that he was amongst them with the club to his head too, like pretty hard to do it yourself. Like
yeah, that is what.
And what he's he perfectly timed himself, hit it, fell over, hit a plank, and the plank dropped all the hay on them or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, yeah, and it all said that these injuries couldn't have been done from themselves. So unless there was another person that, well, I'll explain. So basically, it was well known that Andreas had a strange relationship with his daughter. Andreas originally had two other children along with Victoria, but these kids did not survive childhood. It was originally thought to be down to illness, as sort of back in the 1920s, it was more common for people, babies, not to make it through the first few years. In 1915, Andreas and Victoria were convicted of having an incestuous relationship.
Oh, no.
Andrea served a 1-year sentence and Victoria served just a 1-month sentence. He was very...
That's his daughter, right? That's his daughter.
Yeah, Victoria. Yeah. He was very protective of Victoria, and it was thought that they may well still have been having incestuous relationships.
Definitely, they were
at the time of the murders.
Did they only start shagging after her wife died? Her husband died.
Possibly. I mean, 1915. I mean, he was. I think the date that he was called up to the war was also 1915. So I don't know the exact dates of when they were convicted or whatever, but it lines up. So
he was definitely still shagging her after.
Yeah, once a
year in prison, like once a
shagger, once an incestuous shag, always.
Yeah, always an intentional shagger. Yeah.
Top shagger.
I don't know.
So yeah, that's Andreas. So I mean, well, obviously he couldn't kill himself with that, so there'd have to be some.
I don't think he's a murderer. I just think he's disgusting.
Worked. Okay,
yeah, he's abusive, and he's incest. He's an incest.
He's a bit of a creep. He's also a bit of a. Is it cougar? What's the male one? Because his wife is 72 and he's 63. So
Silver Fox.
What? You mean like when they're sugar daddy?
Toy boy.
He's younger than his wife. Young. Yeah, he is young.
Oh, he's younger than his wife.
Yeah, she's 73.
He's a toy boy then. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, toy boy. So the final, one of the other main suspects is a man called Lorenz Schlittenbauer. Another great name. I'd love to be called that. So Lorenz was a neighbour of the Grobers. Is that the name, the Grobers?
Yeah, Grobers.
Yeah, Grobers.
The family's called Grobers.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Lorenz was a neighbour, and he was one of the men who discovered the bodies. So when I said that a few neighbours went around to the house, a few men, he was one of them that discovered the bodies. Lorenz had been in a relationship with Victoria previously. He wanted to marry her. However, Andreas would not let him. He'd stayed on the property for a short while whilst they were together. And when Victoria fell pregnant with Joseph, who was the youngest, the 2-year-old, she made Lorenz sign the birth certificate. However, it was widely rumoured that it was in fact Andreas who got Victoria pregnant with Joseph, so her own dad.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, so basically Lorenz found himself in and out when it came to sort of terms of being the father, as it sort of had like financial implications. And yeah, the question is, did he kill them after getting frustrated when he found out that he couldn't marry her and her father had a kid with her? That's sort of the suspicion there with Lorenz.
That's pretty strong, that one.
That is strong, and also if he's lived there, he would probably know about. He'd know about that. I could get access to the attic through the shed. I know exactly where I could hide because I've been there, and he'd know all these things, and
there would be the motive for killing the 2-year-old. That's the bastard.
Yeah, that's
child.
the motive there. Yeah, the bastard child. Yeah, it's not his. Like,
still a 2-year-old though. I think.
And I guess if he kept the child alive, he has that also again. If he doesn't get caught, like he has that financial implication.
He would have to look after it.
He'd have to look after it, and he doesn't want to look after that child because it's not his.
Yeah.
It could also turn into like one of those revenge films where the kid's parents will get killed,
exactly.
And then it grows up to be Incredible Hulk or something.
I quite like that theory. Actually, it could be him.
That's definitely the one that seems the most likely at the moment.
Yeah.
If it's not just some random person.
Well, I'll give you some more information about this bloke.
Because
it's a bit more actually. So the 2 other neighbours who were investigating the property, so the 3 people that went to the property in the first place to investigate why they hadn't seen any of the Grobers. The 2 other people, apart from Lorenz, reported that that Lorenz had acted strangely when they found the bodies. So, firstly, he showed little signs of remorse or sort of trauma towards the situation. However, some people do say that, like, you don't know how people will react when they see these sorts of things, so it can't always be sort of accounted for. He also heavily disturbed the crime scene. So, I mean, I think back then there was a lot less importance, I guess, placed on preserving the crime scene, but
because forensics wasn't a thing.
Yeah, but when they found the bodies, he like moved them all around. He basically picked them up and was moving them around. And when the other two men like asked him why, he said, "I'm searching for my son, Joseph." But then it's like, well, is it his son or is it not his son? So,
well, like the people generally speaking think it is his son, right?
Yeah. Well, I think generally people think it is, but there's a heavy rumor that it could be
the fathers.
Yeah, it could be fathers. So when they made their way into the house, the sort of three men, Lorenz went in from like the barn side, because you can get into the house from the barn, and then the other two went around the front of the house, and Lorenz unlocked the front door, which was previously locked, and let the other men in. And then there was also a door on the property that had some sort of strange mechanism that opened the door, and he opened it like he'd basically done it multiple times before. So it seemed like he knew what to do. I think it was like you had to like push something down and pull something up. Well, that's exactly. So when they asked, like, how do you know how to do that? He said, like, well, I've been on the property quite a lot because of Victoria. And then a few years later, he mentioned that the killer was probably hindered by the frozen ground, and that's why they couldn't bury the bodies, and they covered them in straw, which people found a bit strange.
As
hindered by the frozen ground,
as in like they couldn't dig because the ground was frozen.
Put the bodies there because it was frozen. So they had to just put it in the barn.
So people are like, well, hang on, first of all, how do you remember that night was that cold? And it's a bit of a strange thing to say.
Oh, I mean, like Tuesday.
Yeah, but like also like it's that it was around winter. There was it was lots of snow. It's not that hard to put the pieces together to be like, I just had a thought. I reckon the reason that because if he didn't do it, he would spend a lot of time thinking about this as well. Like he'd think about this a lot more than we are. So he'd probably be like, why'd they put them in there? Hey, why don't they just bury them? Why don't they just bury? It probably was the frozen ground. The ground was definitely frozen. Yeah. Then they put them in. Yeah. That makes sense. So I don't think that's that weird.
No, but I actually do think it's weird because it's so. Oscar, it was years later. Like, yeah. No, but years later to figure that out, I think is a bit.
Well, not necessarily. Like maybe he, just thinking about it again. Like, why did they do that? You'd think about this all the time,
don't know,
and then he just was like, well, actually, that's probably why. But we didn't think of it just now. And if I gave you ages and you kept coming back to it, maybe you'd be like, maybe that's why.
True.
And you'd want to tell people because you're like, guys, I figured it out why they did that.
Yeah, true.
But also, if he's a psychopath, psychopaths like to sort of, kind of like
they like the attention.
They like the attention. Yeah. They like the whatever. So he might have been like, that's probably why they didn't do it. He, it's me, and nobody knows, and I want to make people think. Yeah. But I think that's unlikely. But yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But you're right. It also would be a weird thing to bring up because why you? If you don't want to get caught.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Because the counter to that people say on the sort of websites and stuff is that he might just have a knowledge of the area because he's one of the neighbours. He only lives like a few hundred meters away. That, he might just know the conditions or something. But yeah, another slightly strange thing is that his family's alibi that night was that, so on the night that they were murdered, he apparently spent the night in their barn due to the weird stuff going on in the area, which seemed a bit suspicious.
What?
Wait, sorry.
So
say that again?
So where he lives, Lorenz, which he's just like, I don't know, down the road, like a few hundred meters. On the night that they were murdered, his family's alibi for him was that he slept in his own barn, because he was aware of the strange things going on in the area, and these reports that like the Grovers had the keys missing and potential like break-in.
Why would he stay in the barn though? Why
to protect
the animals?
Yeah, like the livestock and stuff, I guess.
So he had a barn as well. It wasn't the family's barn.
Yeah, it was his family's barn.
Yeah. So not the Grovers.
No, his own farm.
Still strange.
Yeah, I mean it's strange that he slept in the barn the night that the murders happened. But
it's strange. But I guess it's not. It's not too insane to think like, okay, there's lots of weird stuff going on. I'm going to make sure that no one comes and steals our animals.
Yeah.
Or it could be the fact of he did the murders, he came back, but he didn't want to wake up his family, so he kind of went into the barn, and they go, "Where is he?" And then they look in the barn, he's there asleep, and they're like, "Why are you in the barn? What are you doing?" And he's like, "Well, I spent the night in the barn to protect the animals."
Yeah.
So
but then, because Lorenz, for a lot of people, and I think for me, is the lead suspect.
Me as well, yeah.
It seems to add up a lot. But then the questions are sort of like, why would he be there for multiple days after he's killed the bodies? And also, like, why would you so obviously disturb sort of the crime scene? I mean,
yeah, the whole thing of him being there.
Maybe
really
he's
strange.
like maybe he's using it as like a oh, I'm looking for my child. Like that's what you would do, I suppose, if you came to that house and you saw a load of dead bodies. You first thought would be, oh my god, where's the 2-year-old? So maybe you would search through. The first thing you do is search through the pile to see the 2-year-olds in there. So I don't think that's too far back, because I feel like you'd either search through that pile immediately or immediately go into the house and try and find the 2-year-old. Like your first thought is definitely find the 2-year-old, because it's been 4 days. Or I guess they don't know how long it's been, but like you're probably thinking, shit, this 2-year-old's gonna fucking be on the verge of death if it's still alive.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm thinking about it. The more I think about it, he has a motive, and that's really about it. It's weird that why would he stay? Like you said, why would he stay there for a few days and eat all their food and things? That's just weird.
Yeah, also, true. That doesn't really make any sense, that part.
And then why would he? I mean, the moving bodies, I think, actually, generally he could just be looking for his son. He might think it's his son. He probably does see it as his son, and like he's probably moving the bodies, thinking, "Where's my son? Where's my son?" He's panicked. So it's a bit weird. That doesn't really add up. And
the eating the food part is weird, because why the hell would
he has his own house. He has his own. His family has his own farm, and
that doesn't make any sense.
Sure, they have like food and stuff, and also it'd be like really weird for them to be like, well, where have you been? Just and then a murder happens, and they find it, and they're like, right, well, you've been gone for a few days. Where have you been?
Yeah,
I
can't lie. I don't think it was him at all.
I don't think.
Now that I think about it, I think there's no way it was him.
No, I don't think it's him either as well. No,
I feel like it is him.
I just don't think so at all. Like,
why would he be there? Why would he be there in
eating their food and stuff? For
a few days.
I don't know. Maybe he just wants to get his own back on Andreas. So he's like, fuck.
Yeah, but then he's like, is it for family? Probably like, where have you been the last few days?
Yeah, and then he's like, I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know.
I generally think it was either like someone else had like a grudge and they did it with someone else, like 2 people had a grudge and they killed them, or it was, and this is my leading one, a homeless person, like Rolf said, got startled spy and what's his name, the
Andreas?
father, Andreas, got startled hit by him, killed him or something, and then it was like just a bit crazy. Like, and he's just like a mentally unwell homeless man creeps up because it's cold in the winter, and then kills Andreas, and he's like, oh, like goes on a kind of a mad spree, and then stays there for a few days because it's nice and warm and there's food and like, and the burning that people saying they smell a bit like could be him burning his clothes. I don't know, like blood all over it, and it's like I don't know, his clothes are dirty and stuff. And then he got startled by the engineer coming around, the mechanic, sorry, and then he just went into the woods. To live
I can also like
hobo life.
Well, yeah, I agree. And what you said, Oscar, about like this Lawrence guy, well, surely like there would be evidence, like surely his family can vouch for him saying, oh yeah, he slept in that barn that night, but he was working on the farm and around the house for the next 3 days.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
but I mean, they're neighbours, so it's not exactly far for him to go. He could go to the Grover's house for. Is it Grover's or Grover's? But he could have gone to their house quickly and popped back. It's Gruber.
Risky because anyone at any time could have come to the house. And maybe one day had passed, and they're like, "Oh, I wonder if they're all right." And then
I also don't know why.
And he's in their house. They're like, "Why are you in this house? And why are there dead bodies in this house?" He'd be like,
And also, I don't understand why he would even if he did murder them in like a heat of a passion thing, why is he then going into the house anyway? Like, to eat their food? What? Why? He's not. He's not stealing anything of theirs. He's not. He's.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
He's just eating their food, and it's a bit weird.
It doesn't make loads of sense. Yeah. Well, I'll give. There's just a couple like final accounts, and then we can sign off. But so at 3 a.m. on the night of the murders, a farmer was driving near the farm, and he noticed two mysterious figures on the edge of the forest next to the Hinterkaifeck farm. And when they saw him, they turned so their faces could not be seen.
Interesting.
And he departed.
Very interesting.
I'll just do the next one as well. The following night, another farmer was passing by the property when he also noticed smoke coming from the chimney and a foul smell from the household. And there was also an unidentified occupant of the house that approached him and blinded him with his lantern so he could not see who it was. And then the farmer decided to quickly basically get out of there because he was a bit spooked. So he was approached by someone from the household who was shining a lantern at him so he couldn't see him. And then he basically got out of there because he was a bit freaked out.
That is quite scary, yeah.
And then there were various other accounts of murders in the area and other people who claim to be the Hinterkaifeck murderer. However, no one has ever been...
People love doing that, don't they?
Yeah, no one's ever been arrested or charged. So, yeah.
I really do think with that, that farmer spotting two people on the edge of the forest and then they turn their heads, I really think that the whole homeless thing is a real good shout for it, because maybe now there was two homeless people and they saw an opportunity to they may be homeless around the area, so they know of this family, they know the rumors of this family, they know the town don't really like this family, so they saw an opportunity of, right, they've got a nice house, no one's going to come up here because no one likes them, like, let's go.
Wait, like what? They're gonna go? They know they're only gonna get away with living in that house for a couple of days before.
Yeah, but they're homeless. They're desperate.
What? So they're gonna just go and all right, let's just risk attempting to murder 5 people so we can sleep in a place for 2 nights, and also risk getting arrested. That's crazy. What the hell? The fuck? What?
Well, maybe they were just
now I'm dissatisfied because now I don't really know what the hell.
No, I generally think it was 2 homeless people. They were a bit crazy, and they were like, let's just go up there, and maybe it wasn't like they didn't initially went in to go kill them. They were just like, let's go in the attic and go and live there. They will never find us, kind of thing. And then they took the opportunity, like they went downstairs at one time, and then they panicked, and one of them got he got, I don't know, hurt, and the other one killed the father, and then they got the others and killed them because they didn't want witnesses, and they just panicked, and they killed the baby because they're crazy.
There's only one set of tracks, so did they just walk up in each other's tracks?
Maybe we've got piggyback.
Yeah, maybe. Big little piggyback.
Well, they were like, they had a big trench coat on, and there was one on top of the other. Yeah, like one big scary person.
And then they spent the few days there because they were like, well, we might as well. We're homeless. Let's eat some food. Spend a few days here. It'd be nice. And then they get spooked, and then boom.
I feel like it's got to be someone with a grudge against that. I think it's got to be
something
to do with
in their
Lorenz.
House?
I don't know, but
it makes no sense.
But like, why would they be murdered? Like, I think just because, like,
random,
but killing a 2-year-old randomly just doesn't make
crazy.
sense.
Maybe they're just crazy.
They're crazy. They're crazy German homeless people, mate.
Yeah.
Maybe they're
homeless people crazy. Homeless people can be pretty nice.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying that, but maybe it was a war veteran who had PTSD from the war. He's homeless. Or both
like in Peaky Blinders, where that guy, have you seen Peaky Blinders?
No, I've not seen it. No.
Well, there's a guy in the first season who like always has like flashbacks, and he like thinks he's in the war, and he starts like going, and then like one time like he sees like someone come over to him and he stabs and kills them.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's a fucking German soldier.
Maybe he got spooked because he had like flashbacks or something.
Yeah,
like a Russian soldier coming into him, and he went bang. And he's like, oh shit, what have I done? And he just kind of and then they're like, we need to do something. Oh, they just go crazy.
Yeah, maybe.
What's the leading?
I don't like the whole
leading is Lorenz.
I don't like Lorenz. I don't think it don't make sense.
I just think he's got the motive.
But the motive makes sense. But
the motive makes a lot of sense.
But then also, it's just a big thing of why is he staying there? Like, why would he ever stay there? Why would he stay there? I
don't know. Maybe
unless Lorenzo killed them. This could be it. Lorenzo kills them, obviously, because he's got his grudge and stuff. He leaves. He doesn't want to stay there because he's got his own house and his own barn. But then these two homeless people, maybe they saw the thing or saw it and were like,
there's some dead people.
There's a free house. There's free house. Like,
no way.
Like they don't give it.
That's crazy. That's insane because then they're gonna be the ones that are like done for the murder if someone comes. Like that'd be really stupid.
Yeah, but they're desperate. Like
I just think maybe
they're desperate. They're homeless. It's winter. It's cold.
I think maybe Lorenz didn't want it to appear like they'd been killed, so he tried to make it look like people were living there.
Oh, I don't know. It's
to maybe hide something, or
but then his family gonna go, where have you been, Lorenzo?
Yeah, but he's just popping out. He's just popping out quickly and then coming back. Maybe
What, night time and stuff as well, like.
I mean, in theory, you could kind of say, like, if the smoke's coming out of the chimney, people might think that they're still, like, there, and then they won't investigate.
Yeah.
So maybe he was trying to do stuff and make it like that. Maybe he walked out. Did the guy walk out with the lantern? That was after they'd been killed, right?
Yeah.
It was the night after they'd been killed, but no one knew that they'd been killed yet.
Okay, but that's interesting that it's the night as well. So he wasn't in his house at night. Like, he's gone out to that house again at night time. Yeah. That is, like, risky because you can't get away with saying, like...
It's like, why, if people went past and it was all dark and stuff in the house... Like, all he has to do as well is just, like, before he leaves, turn a few lanterns on, leave, and then go back in the morning. Like, he doesn't have to stay there in the nighttime. I don't know. It's just a bit weird.
It is a bit weird.
I don't know. I just don't know.
Well, I mean, no one knows. But apparently, I've not got this written down.
Well, I will know, actually, because I will time travel back to that farm, and I will find it, and I'll tell you guys, Yeah, I got a little time travel machine.
Oh.
Delivering.
Is our like homeless theory, is that one of the theories?
I've not seen it, but maybe.
What are all the theories other than the rent one and the dead soldier one.
Oh, the dead soldier one is so
There's
stupid.
Lorenz. There's Lorenz, the dead. I mean, on Wikipedia, there's about 10, so I don't have time really to go through them all. But
I bet there is a homeless one.
There's one that there's like I think it's like two brothers that had a string of murders so many miles away. There's a few murderers on the list.
Probably that then.
Well, it wasn't a leading theory, so it probably was.
That seems more likely, though. I think.
No, I don't know, but I can't remember what I was going to say, but
some sort of serial killers type thing. It does make kind of sense.
I would actually be interested to see what the viewers think. I'd love to see that in the comments.
Yes,
kind of write down what you want to see. What you think happened. Do you think it was the homeless people? Do you think it was Lorenzo? Do you think it was something else? Let us know. I want to know. I'll read it for you.
Well, there's also
we read every comment.
Yeah, every single one.
Every comment, even those ones telling me that I'm ugly.
I think that'd be quite a lot of those. So,
and that Oscar has a big nose and that Rolf can't stop blinking. I read every one of those.
There's also a because they opened the case and closed it multiple times, but I think it's quite a recent one where I think it might have been a private or like an independent group, and they basically said that they've got evidence on who the killer was, but to protect the extended families of people who are alive, because they said that this person is now dead, but they said to protect the families that they're not going to release who it is.
Bollocks. That is not true at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they probably investigated it and they're like, oh, fucking who gives a shit? And then they
that's so stupid. I'm sorry. No one from like no one's gonna be like, oh, actually, I'm gonna get payback on that.
It could be the Grubers versus the Schlittenbaus. It could be reignited.
That's so stupid.
It's like the families in Red Dead Redemption.
They haven't got anything.
Yeah.
They did not know. They were like, well, loads of people put money into this research for us. We need to say something.
Yeah,
that's bollocks.
Well, I'm just reciting information. So that's that, I suppose.
I like that one.
Yeah.
So I was scared. I'm not as scared as I thought I would be, to be honest.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I'm still scared, and I definitely will be locking my door this evening. But
oh my god,
like for some reason the other one spooked me more. Just like
did it?
Like,
such a
I don't know. I feel like this one's kind of like I don't know what it is about. Like the fact that it's like, okay, it was someone in the house and I don't know what it is, whereas the other one's just a bit more scary. Maybe I've just become more resilient.
What about when, you hear a little knock and, or a scratch in your walls?
You see footsteps going up to you.
I hear footsteps all the time anyway because someone lives above me. But
could be someone, coming into your house, and then you get bludgeoned and you have to you're not dead and you pull out your hair.
Oh no, don't tell me that.
The hair pulling's what got. I was listening to the podcast in the car, and I got out of the car at night and they just said they found footsteps of the property. That someone was likely living upstairs, and then the girl was pulling her own hair out, and she was like,
that's grim. That is grim.
Yeah, that's definitely the most like. That's that part. Really,
I feel like I can picture it really. I don't know, vividly. Yeah. It's just like clumps of your own hair. Like, oh, it's such a disgusting. God. So
no, that's not fun.
That is horrible. Yeah.
That's not fun at all.
Thanks for that, Oscar. That was a good
really
one.
good.
That was a good one. I was engrossed.
Good. I guess we'll sign off there, but. If also people watching, whatever, feel free to leave comments and whatever on what we can do better. Or if
we can improve on, or any
looks ugly. Or
any suggestions.
If you have any suggestions for mysteries, let me know. Because I'm looking and I'm struggling a little bit actually.
That's not good.
No, well, I'm not struggling, but there's a few I wanted to do, and I've gone more into it. I know, got more into it, and it was like, don't know about that.
Yeah,
so,
it's good when you got one with sort of layers of mystery. Yeah, that's the best. But yeah, all right.
Well, and I'll be doing the next week's one where we'll be entering into the world of conspiracy rather than mystery.
Oh, our first conspiracy.
I do like conspiracy theories.
As we investigate the JFK assassination.
Oh, I like JFK assassination. Well, I don't like that he died, but yeah, it's an interesting one. It's a good one.
Oh, when I first heard of the JFK assassination, I was like, there's some conspiracies. It's probably not actually that,
yeah, that's what I'm
like
thinking.
that deep. And then I watched a video on it, and I was like, oh my god, like this is like, I was like, this it must be. Well, I'll leave it there.
Well, yeah,
I'm interested for this one because I know some conspiracies, some few conspiracies, but I'll be interesting to see what you say.
See, I don't really know anything. I didn't really know there was conspiracies. I just thought he got killed and the guy got arrested. It was a good shot.
Lee, what's his name? Lee Oswald.
Yeah,
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Lee Harvey
Oswald.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Yeah.
Nice. I look forward to that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Bye.
See ya.
Bye, guys.